up, Ed? Good. All righty. Good.
Stupid, how good must it have felt, but seeing all of those offensive guys you were missing last year and the line and the quarterback and Blake getting back out there, it's just the significance of that and having them from the start of camp going forward.
No, it's been awesome. They've been part of it for a while. Obviously, they're all at different phases throughout the offseason program with their rehab, but it's pretty awesome to see those guys walk out. See the big three, the big guys walk out together. Dak, obviously, Blake. There's a lot of guys that have been through some stuff last year, and so I think we're in a really good place.
How anxious were you to see Dak yesterday, just the first training camp practice?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, like anyone who goes through those type of injuries, just starting to get 11 on 11 is big, just because you got to get used to the trash kind of underneath your feet and stuff, and that's natural. When you have a lower injury, you just got the more you get around those type of guys, with the offense and the defensive line together, I think it's just going to make them more and more comfortable and get ready to roll.
Cognizant of that when you were coming back from your ankle deal, like did it take you a while to not be mindful of what's at your feet?
Yeah, I think you're just unconsciously aware of it. Obviously, it's the thing you've focused on for so many months, and so naturally you have some attention to it. But I think obviously the more you're just around this thing, the more you get comfortable. There's going to be a guy who falls, and you're going to be fine. And there's going to be another guy who falls, and you're going to be fine. And the more you do that, I think the more comfortable he's going to get, and eventually it kind of disappears from your thought process, and you're playing ball.
Dak was talking about how he's eager to play in the preseason, and he almost wouldn't mind getting hit, kind of just not, standing back up after contact. Is that something that you can relate to coming off an injury as a quarterback? I'm sure you probably don't want him to get hit too hard, but
no, 100%. It's a weird thing about quarterbacks. I think it's a great feeling the first time you get hit. There's just something about it that you got hit, you got back up, and now let's go play real football again. And obviously, we've done a lot of stuff up to this point that's close to real football, but we got to continue to build to that, and eventually there's contact a part of it, and we got to be ready to handle that as well.
Is there anything you're watching him to monitor to see if, this changed his mechanics in any way, or normally he would do this a different way before, or have you moved past that already?
I think we're totally past that. Mechanically, there's nothing that we're focused on from that standpoint. I think it's more the day-to-day grind of practicing in training camps and getting accustomed to the workout stuff and just seeing where he's at each and every day, if he has anything that comes up because of that. But nothing really so far. And, Britt and Jim and those guys, they handle that, and, it's just constant feedback.
Given the injury, does Dak still want to run? And given the $140 million or $160 million, does Jerry still want him to run?
I think at the end of the day, that's part of what's made Dak a really good football player. Obviously, there's an element of being smart and understanding situational football, but I think it's kind of foolish of us to take that away from him. He can still make plays with his legs. He's got a runner's mentality at times, and running someone over and trying to stiff arm people, and that's still a part of him. We just got to find where our situations are right and play really good football, and that's who he's always been, and I think he needs to embrace that still.
Do you think there's a value to playing a physical style of football as a quarterback? Yeah,
certainly. I think at the end of the day, you got to be able to move around in the pocket, and certainly where the NFL is right now with the best in the league, you got to be able to move around. You got to be able to play off schedule. You got to be able to make plays there, whether it's moving within the pocket, moving out of the pocket, still throwing, taking the run when they give it to you, scrambling for a first down. We still need all of that out of Dak, and there's going to be a time and place. He's still going to have to run the football. We just got to be smart and acknowledge when those situations are best suited for us.
Is there ever such a thing as too many weapons on offense?
No, I'm never going to complain about that. Trying to find a way to say yes, but no. I'm going to say no. No, I feel fortunate. I think we're in a great position where we are. Get our guys back healthy. We got a lot of versatility with our group, which I think is something we're really embracing right now.
Is it one of those things where if a team wants to focus on this, you have counterbalances, counteraction to what defenses are doing?
Yeah, I think it's having the ability to play multiple ways throughout the season. There might come a game, Zeke, we need you 35, 40 carries. Team's giving it to us. We're going to be in big personnel, and we're going to grind something out. You might say, hey, we need to spread this sucker out and be in four wide and play with both tight ends and try and spread this thing out. we're going to throw it a bunch. We have to have the ability to play different styles of football, and I think where we are with our personnel, with multiple running backs we feel great about that can play on the field at the same time, multiple running tight ends, obviously the receiving core people know. I think we're in a really, really good place.
What do you think of Zeke coming in lighter this season?
Looks great. Love it. I think just where his mind is, where his approach has been all offseason, it's been phenomenal, and we love it.
Do you see anything different? He said he worked a lot on the short area quickness, and if so, how do you expect that to impact his game this year?
Yeah. Obviously, he looks quicker. That's probably the note everyone notices. But I think he's going to be a versatile player, and that's one thing we've been trying to view this whole offseason, approach it. We got a lot of the same guys. We've had a system in place for a little while that everyone feels comfortable with. Now it's where do we evolve it, where do we build it? And guys being versatile is a big thing for us. Guys being able to line up in different positions, line up wherever we can create matchups and go from there.
His worst critic when it came to his performance last season. Beyond the ball security, which improved as the season went on, what do you think he really needed to build off of and address coming off of last year?
Yeah, I think ball security, and obviously that's the big focus. And then, we went through all challenges as a group as a whole, and so I think there's just an opportunity to reevaluate, reestablish some things that he's great at, that this offensive line's great at. I think, and build on some new opportunities that we can continue to grow on. We don't want to stay the same. We're not trying to be the same offense we were in 19, 20. We're creating 2021, and there's going to be different flavors and different things thrown in there, and we're going to have some fun doing it.
Given the difference between training camp practice as opposed to game planning during the season and that type of stuff, do you have an opinion about what's the most important thing to get down while you're out here practicing in this way?
Yeah, we're trying to establish the right way to play, the way we want to play. We're going through an installation process where we're installing certain things. There's going to be themes to each day, right? Whether it's a third down emphasis, a red zone emphasis, maybe a personnel emphasis. So each day is going to have some sort of approach to it. And ultimately, once we get through those installations, we start getting in these preseason games, then we're starting to hone in on specifically what we want to look for as we go to the season, and whatever our personnel strengths are, what we want to approach those first few games with.
Was there ever a time last year where you walking through the locker room, walking through the training room, and you saw all those guys in there and just kind of said, "Sure you can't play"?
They were hanging out with Brett and Jim a lot, so certainly we miss those guys. Hopefully we don't have to deal with one of those again.
When Blake was injured, were there certain concepts of your offense, route combinations, what have you, that you just had to kind of throw out for the rest of the season because without Blake you really couldn't quite do them?
I think there was naturally a concern for it just because we had such high hopes for what Blake could provide for us last year, his ability to stretch the team vertically. And the fortunate thing for us was Dalton came in and became such a great talent for us and valuable piece for us. And so we're fortunate. We still think the same things about Blake, and Dalton's got a year like he had last year that we can put those two guys out on the field and feel really, really good with where we're going.
People often point to the jump players make from their first to second year. With that in mind and what you've seen from CeeDee Lamb this offseason, what about his development? What level do you expect him to be able to take it to this season?
Yeah, that second year is huge for those guys. Just the mental side of it and the confidence that goes with that you know exactly what you're doing. You can go play fast. Obviously, last year with the compressed offseason, he played a lot in the slot, and obviously we want to move him around a lot more. And so hopefully that provides us the versatility to put those guys around at different positions, create matchups, put guys where we want them to be to hopefully be successful. And CeeDee's one of those guys. He's going to play all over the field. He's going to line up everywhere across the field, and we're going to have fun doing it.
The benefit of having all those guys that move Amari in there, around, you move Michael around, have all those guys kind of be that versatile. What does it do for you?
Yeah, it provides us great opportunities to play matchup football. And Mike obviously talks about that, matchup football. The guys are going to have certain matchups, and the favorable matchups, we got to put them in the best position to be successful. We got different types of guys. We got strong, thick receivers. We got speed receivers. We got the versatility to put those guys in different positions and create those matchups.
Blessing in disguise. I mean, with Amari not being out there, you obviously no concern he's going to be out there, but now see he gets to give him those reps outside.
Yeah. Obviously, there's always a value for different guys. When a guy's not there, someone else is going to get reps. We've been able to get CeeDee out there. We're a little low. Let Tony go out there and play some receiver. If we need Zeke out there, Zeke can line up anywhere. We have no problem with him. He knows this offense inside and out. And so, we feel very fortunate with what we've been able to develop this offseason.
Kellen, given that you've got your system in place, you've got your guys and pretty much knew it was coming in, what did the last 6 weeks look like for you? And how much were you preparing game by game? Was it, okay, we did this last year and it didn't work? Take us through it.
Yeah, this summer? Yeah, I think just honing in on exactly what we want to do. At the end of the day, training camp's really limited. There's really not many practices. How many? We got 13 or something out here. You guys know it better than me. But there's not many practices, and so you got to be very specific on what you can get. There's tons of thoughts and ideas. You'd love to get to this. You'd love to get to that. But you got to hone in on exactly what can we accomplish out here. And then in the back of your mind, there's things that are going to come up later in the training camp when we're back in Frisco. Throughout the season, things that we want to address at some point, but you just got to hone in. I think that's the constant battle for myself, at least. There's so many ideas and thoughts. You got to constantly try and tighten that thing up so we can continue to play fast.
Kellen, what did you learn about yourself as a coach last year as you dealt with the many injuries to this offense?
Yeah, I think just handling the different changes and adjustments you have to do throughout the year. Obviously, my first year we were fortunate. We played fairly healthy. I think the tackle spot we had a little bit, in 19 we had a tackle situation a few times, but just having to be able to play in different personnel groups throughout a game that something may come up, you may lose a guy, and you got to be able to adjust. And obviously, Dak went down, we had to adjust a little bit. So I think just being able to play the adjustment game is something that I feel like I grew on.
You don't seem like the type of guy that would love cameras being behind the scenes, getting all your meetings and things like that, but maybe you are. What do you think of having Hard Knocks around? They're going to be obviously in the meetings like that, seeing you behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be the star, I'll tell you that. It's been good. I don't think we've had an issue with it. It's been it'll probably be a fun thing for everyone. I think everyone handles it the right way, and we enjoy it.
Thank you, Kellen.
Okay.
Let's go.